Hi, good morning, grasshoppers. I'm so happy to see you. I really missed you last week. On Saturday, when I was sleeping, I all of a sudden, out of nowhere, remembered I forgot to FaceTime my grasshoppers. You guys, I have no idea what happened. Maybe my brain was taking a nap, or maybe I was so busy working on my special video for you that I forgot all about it. I'm sorry. I hope that you'll forgive me. And I hope that you'll tell your mom or dad to sign you up for a FaceTime date this Thursday so that I can see you before our Easter break. Do you know what day it is? Yesterday was Monday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. And that means that today is... That's right, it's Tuesday. I know you want to sing the song, right? Let's sing it together. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's Tuesday, April the 7th. What is the weather like in Washington, D.C. today? In North Carolina, it was 70 degrees and sunny. It was so beautiful outside, but it was a little bit windy. Today, I'm talking to you from the playroom in our house. This is where Olivia does her schoolwork. And this is where she keeps her Star Wars Legos and all of her toys and games. And you might notice that giant polar bear picture up on the wall. Do you know my dad took that picture? My dad went to Canada and he took pictures of polar bears. Isn't that neat? Do you know where Canada is? Canada is another country on the continent of North America. It's north of the United States of America. Maybe you can find it with your mom or dad on a map. This week, we are learning that God is just. Just means fair. Have you ever gotten in a fight with a sibling or a friend and said, "Hey, that's not fair," and you really wanted your mom or dad to do something about it to make it fair again? Like maybe somebody took your toy, or maybe somebody got more cookies than you got. A lot of times things seem unfair on earth when we're dealing with our friends and our family. But you know, justice, or making things fair, belongs to the Lord. So we should always wait on the Lord to make things right. God always does things fairly. He always does the right thing. Do you know that when Jesus died on the cross, even though it's really, really sad that that had to happen, that it was the biggest demonstration of God's justice? The reason it had to happen is because in the beginning, God said that the penalty for sin is death. That meant that even if a human sinned one time, that there would be punishment for that sin. But humans didn't just sin just one little time, did they? Every single human has sinned a bunch of times. And the penalty for that sin is to be separated from God forever, and that humans die at the end of their life. But God didn't really want it to be like that. He didn't want his creation to be separated from him. So he decided that he would forgive humans for their sin, and that he would allow them to be in his presence even though that they had sinned. I'm really glad that God did that. I'm glad that he had mercy on us and that he forgives us for our sins so that we can be with him forever. But God did say that there had to be a punishment for sin. So is it really fair for him to forgive sin and just forget all about it? Let's think about this for a second. What if someone stole all the cookies out of the cookie jar in your kitchen, and then you got no cookies to eat, And then your mom found out who stole those cookies. And then she said, "Don't worry about it. It's okay to steal cookies. Go ahead and take cookies whenever you want. There's no rules in this house. Everybody's forgiven." Well, that might be kind of fun for the person who stole the cookies, but is it fun for other people? No, it doesn't really seem fair, does it? Well, that's the same thing with God. He couldn't have just forgiven sins and not done anything about it. Then he wouldn't have been a fair God. So God had a plan, and he said, "I am going to put all the punishment for all the sins of the world on myself." And then he came and he lived as Jesus Christ. He lived a perfect life on earth, and then he died on the cross. He took that sinner's death, and there was a lot of punishment involved in that. It was painful and it was scary, but he did it so that we wouldn't have to experience it. He did die on the cross, and he was buried in a tomb, but then he rose again. He defeated death, and he came back and rose to live at the right hand of the Father in heaven forever. So there's really good news at the end of that story. But the best news is that we are forgiven. And anyone who believes that story and decides that they want to stop doing their sinny things and turn away from their own ways of doing things and start doing things God's way, then they get to be in heaven with God and to enjoy him forever. Isn't that amazing? God is merciful, but he is also just. He is so fair. Praise God for his justice and for his fairness and for his mercy.